A helpless kid finds himself cornered by a pack of hungry wolves. Deep in the woods, these beasts move in for the kill. They don't waste a second, launching forward with jaws wide open. The terrified toddler squeezes his eyes shut, bracing for the worst. But then, suddenly, blinding flashes of energy slice the air. In an instant, the predators are shredded into absolute pieces. As the dust settles, a mysterious savior steps out. He assures the trembling child that the danger has finally passed. The kid looks up through his tears, desperate to see his hero. He finds a dashing swordsman offering a hand back to civilization. Grabbing hold of his savior, the boy heads toward safety. He's completely unaware of his real destiny waiting years down the road. Now grown up, our protagonist casually summons his skeleton guards. Onlookers gossip about his rare class, whispering behind his back. But Chen Zai secretly laments that being a shadow mage feels too basic. His weak skeletons are basically paperweights, leaving him totally defenseless. Honestly, he can't even blame the other players for avoiding him, especially since his insane mental strength score of 150 should be huge. Instead, his status screen reveals a depressing list of level 0 stats. It makes him wonder how the other high-potential student will fare. Chen Zai ponders what class his talented classmate Chen Kinyu will unlock. But then, a booming announcement reveals her SSS grade class. Chen Kinyu stands enveloped in swirling magical energy as a Voidwalker. The entire crowd erupts in absolute awe, everyone stunned. Onlookers are green with envy, questioning how Chen Zai got left behind. Some rookie with lower mental strength just secured a god-tier class. While our guy here, he got stuck with absolute trash. Chen Zai stands in the crowd, dreading his Uncle Lulio's disappointment. That elite faction only recruits the top-tier geniuses. Meanwhile, the academy instructor finally takes the stage. He announces that the official recruitment trials begin in exactly 1 month. It's clear that only rookies with hidden classes stand a chance. That announcement instantly crushed the hopes of every average student. You can feel the tension as those dreams just evaporate. Walking through the gossiping crowd, our boy ignores all the praise. He ignores the cheers showered upon his genius classmate. He's just seeking some much-needed peace and quiet. He really needs a moment to clear his head after today. It has been a thoroughly exhausting day for him. Finally, he arrives at the local orphanage. A normal student with just a basic class walks by. He ignores the crowd. They are whispering, gossiping, constantly judging him. Everyone is praising the genius classmate, but our boy just walks on. He needs some peace and quiet, just needs to clear his head. After a truly exhausting day, he finally reaches the local orphanage. He slowly climbs the steps, heading back inside. The kind director notices his gloomy mood, asks why he looks so down. She worries his awakening day did not go the way he'd hoped. Chen Zai retreats to his room, shutting out the noisy world. He needs rest, collapsing onto his bed, bitter about the truth. In this world, raw talent always seems to beat hard work. Yet he refuses to give up. He'll grind levels until his shadow magic works. He is determined to make Uncle Luo proud and secure his spot. A spot in that legendary elite faction. Suddenly, a bizarre glitch sparks to life right in front of his eyes. It forces him to sit up in shock as a blue screen materializes. Out of nowhere, it displays a frustrating error message. The system claims it is completely incompatible with the service. He's desperately tapping the glass, wondering if his journey is over, before it even started. But then, the system resolves the error. His eyes widen as a new prompt appears, a game-changing affix. Arcane Grace. It is about to break his entire build. The screen displays a massive no cooldown sign. His skills now have 0 wait time. Chen Zai stares at his hands in absolute disbelief. The reality sinks in, and he screams so loudly the neighbors panic. They probably think he's finally lost his mind. Cooldown reduction gear normally costs a fortune, even for basic mages. He quickly calculates his mana pool. realizing what this means. He can summon an entire army of 20 skeletons right now. With a swift wave of his hand, a horde of undead floods the room, proving his theory correct. It opens the door to infinite summoning. As long as his mana grows, he envisions a future where even legendary bone dragons bow to him. He's transforming from a pathetic summoner into an ultimate commander. Now, Chen Zai AI plans to grind like crazy this entire month. He'll force that elite faction to recruit him. Chen Zai heads downstairs with his skeleton squad in tow. He completely terrifies the poor orphanage director on his way out. He promises himself he will conquer the upcoming trials. He will make Uncle Luo incredibly proud. He arrives shortly after at the bustling dungeon lobby. It is packed with eager rookie adventurers. Most of these geared players are already forming tight squads for safety. That's when it hits him. The beginner trial grounds are completely deserted for solo players. He's standing there totally on his own in this crowd. Suddenly, a familiar voice cuts through the noise. All just to remind him of his pathetic, bottom-tier status. His ex, Chen Lucy, coldly warns him to stop clinging to her social circle. Meanwhile, her wealthy new boyfriend, Zhang Wei, just stands there. Zhang Wei smugly mocks Chen's skeleton summon class as a joke. Watching them walk away, our lead isn't even surprised by the betrayal. With other players too terrified of Zhang Wei to join his party, he goes solo. He approaches the mysterious, glowing portal alone. A masked man watches from the shadows as the portal flickers to life. As Chen Zai steps through, the observer narrows his eyes. This mysterious watcher keeps a close eye on every single move he makes. He dials his boss to report that the target is finally in position. The mark has officially entered the trial grounds, he confirms. Inside the dungeon, system prompts detail the brutal rules of the zone. He takes a decisive step across the glowing blue boundary line. Leaving the absolute safety of the entrance, he steps into the dark. Instantly, a pair of glowing green eyes pierces the shadows. The local wildlife has spotted him, and they are hungry. A swarm of level 1 glow rats prepares to tear the solo rookie apart. Most players would panic, pulling way too much aggro without a party. But our guy, he stays calm, channeling dark magic to form a front line. Bony shields materialize out of thin air as he summons his guards. His trusty skeleton warriors move to handle the incoming wave. Chen Zai raises his staff, perfectly prepared to face the pack. He unleashes his shadow magic with absolute, cold confidence. Dark energy pulses outward, summoning a relentless horde of soldiers. A massive wave of skeleton warriors rises to meet the swarm. His broken system effortlessly bypasses every cooldown restriction in existence. He glances at his status bar, checking his vitals in the heat of battle. His mana is running dangerously low, but he doesn't flinch. He has already spawned 40 undead warriors to overwhelm the dungeon. Ahead of them, the massive swarm of rats charges without hesitation. Our protagonist points his staff, directing his bony front line forward. He gives the cold, simple command to execute every beast in their path. Skeletal blades flash, meeting the charging rodents head-on. Instantly, the army clashes with the pests, slicing through them like butter. Every kill earns our boy some incredibly easy experience points. As the first monster falls, the efficiency of his summons becomes clear. His skeletal warriors tear through the remaining pests without stopping. He is racking up sweet, effortless experience points by the second. A trail of dead rodents is left behind in the dark tunnel. He casually strolls deeper into the dungeon, unfazed by the carnage. His tireless undead army continues to smash every monster in their way. A notification glows in the air, lighting up his HUD. He just hit level 1 in under 10 minutes of work. It proves one thing: running solo is way better than the alternative. Sharing his rare experience with this useless party, not for long. Without a second of hesitation, Chen Zai dumps all 5 of his new attribute points into intelligence, boosting that stat. Directly increases his spell damage while expanding. His maximum mana pool and a massive mana pool is exactly what he needs to keep his broken summon engine active, allowing him to flood the battlefield with an endless wave of loyal skeletons, dark energy from his fallen foes fuels his rapid, inevitable rise to dungeon dominance. Chen Zai marches deeper, surrounded by his loyal, glowing-eyed skeleton squad. He takes a bold step forward as he officially crosses into the dangerous second ring, where a pack of vicious predators lies in wait to ambush any unsuspecting rookie. But these level-to gray wolves have absolutely no idea they just picked the wrong target. Our guy calmly commands his dark forces to rise. Once again, instantly, a fresh wave of armored skeletons leaps from the shadows, weapons drawn. They lead the lead beast to stare in absolute horror at its impending doom as the relentless undead army shreds the pack to pieces. They rack up effortless experience points, which triggers a massive pillar of golden light to envelop Chen Zai, once more proving his broken summon build is officially ready to shatter the system. A glowing notification confirms Chen Zai has leveled up again, hitting level 2 while his relentless skeleton warriors continue to harvest experience points from the local wildlife, leaving another dead predator belly up on the cold stone floor. In just minutes, the entire Wolf pack is completely wiped out by his dark army. But a glowing green eye in the shadows reveals a new threat, watching as a swarm of massive, venomous serpents suddenly surrounds him from all sides. Instead of backing down, the young mage grips his staff with a cold, focused glare, unleashing another wave of dark magic to summon even more armored undead, pointing his weapon forward. He commands his loyal soldiers to strike the incoming beasts, sending his relentless Dark Legion diving straight into the fray. His skeletal army easily tears through the venomous serpents, racking up effortless experience points along the way. The relentless undead warriors slice down every single beast that dares to cross their path. 2 hours of Nong stop grinding later, Chen Zai stands victorious amidst a massive pile of defeated monsters. He just hit a new high. He hits level 5 in record time and unlocks a brand new skill. He taps that glowing blue screen, eager to see what he got. This power-up, it's exactly the game changer he's been waiting for. The system reveals his new ability is none other than the legendary and highly destructive corpse explosion. Talk about pure chaos. Best of all, this broken skill has absolutely zero cooldown, and it costs him literally 0 mana to cast every single time. Oh boy is ecstatic. He's taking his first steps toward the next floor, flanked by a massive, terrifying army of armored skeletons. They're ready to obliterate anything standing in their way. As he prepares to step through, the portal hums with energy. He is going to conquer the final boss of this trial. A massive armored claw slams onto the stone with a deafening crash. It's a pair of level 5 elite steel thorn rhinos. These heavily armored beasts roar, ready to charge him down. They guard the final portal, but Chen Zai just smiles. He's eager to test his new skill, raising his staff high. He orders his loyal skeletal army to advance toward the 5th ring. He steps through the swirling blue portal to face the challenge. Landing on the cold stone floor, he shows absolute poise. His massive undead legion lines up against those roaring monsters. The elite beasts charge forward with terrifying speed to crush him. But oh boy is ready. He commands his vanguard to hold formation. Chen Zai doesn't waste a single second here. He triggers corpse explosion, sending his soldiers into the fray. They charge straight into the rhinos with explosive force. A chain reaction of massive red blasts rips through the air. The first beast is vaporized in an instant. Then another eruption wipes out the rest in mere seconds. Before the smoke even clears, he casts Shadow Summon. He replenishes his army, ready to detonate them all over again. He is maximizing his damage output, and then it happens. A sudden system notification pops up right in front of him. He taps that glowing blue screen to inspect his latest upgrade. It's the legendary Spirit Bond Guard, a massive passive buff. Now all incoming damage is transferred directly to his summons. He cracks a smug grin, realizing the truth of it all. He has officially achieved absolute immortality. Two more steel thorn rhinos charge forward, roaring in defense. Chen Zai AI just notes a few stragglers are still lingering around. He's completely unfazed by their size. He's already won. Absolute immortality to massive steel thorn rhino lizards. They charge forward, roaring, fighting to defend their territory. Chen Zai AI just calmly notes that a few stragglers are still hanging around. He is completely unfazed by their massive size. Our boy stands his ground, watching the armored beast prepare to charge. It tramples his skeleton front line, a heavy claw slams into stone. A deafening crash. Suddenly, the massive monster leaps straight for Chen. It aims for his eyes, trying to crush him in one strike. But his newly unlocked Spirit Bond Guard passive triggers. It happens in a heartbeat, instantly saving his life. The impact, it transfers entirely to one of his loyal skeletons. That poor summon shatters into dust on the spot. Our protagonist remains completely untouched, safe behind the shield. He points his staff, cold and calculated, ordering the rest to attack. A flaming warrior lunges forward to strike the beast down. Time to secure some sweet experience points. A system alert confirms the lizard's demise. The loot drop is decent, but the experience is the real prize. He strolls through the chaos of his own explosive chain reaction. Clearing a high-level dungeon is exhausting work. And frankly, our boy is completely starving now. He decides he's done enough grinding for the morning. Time for breakfast. He steps through the glowing blue portal. He returns to the bustling lobby of the adventure hall. The noisy chatter washes over him instantly. But wait, a mysterious masked observer is still lurking in the shadows. Watching his every move, the spy activates an appraisal skill. He's trying to inspect our protagonist's hidden level and stats. The results leave the spy sweating in pure, absolute disbelief. Chen Zai's growth is way too rapid, almost impossible. The spy immediately dials his boss to report this broken rookie. He confirms that Chen Zai AI has finally exited the trial grounds. His lady boss is shell-shocked by the update. To learn the boy has already hit level 5, unreal. Meanwhile, inside the Zhang estate, a young lady sighs with annoyance. She tells her anxious father to stop pacing the study. He's making her dizzy with all that nervous movement. The stern man insists that hiding her class info can wait. Leveling up has to be the priority right now. She remains unbothered, confident her rare hidden class is enough. A spot in the top guild is basically guaranteed for her. Her father slams his hand onto the desk, shattering her smug mood. He reminds her that his reputation as head recruiter is at stake. If his own daughter falls behind, he's finished. Yielding to his guilt trip, she slams her spellbook shut. She sighs, deciding to grab a quick bite before heading out. It's time to go grind monsters in the dangerous wild. Her father rubs his temples, completely exhausted by her stubbornness. He just needs her to take this seriously for once. Her attitude is cool, totally unbothered until a sharp chime cuts through the air. A message flashes on her wrist communicator, right in the middle of their tense family spat. It's a holographic report. Chen Zai AI just cleared the trial at level 5. She freezes, stunned by the news, and turns toward the door in total silence. Her father doesn't even notice, just keeps urging her to sit down and eat. She knows the truth. Chen Zai's insane leveling speed is breaking every single rule. This isn't how a shadow mage is supposed to work. She needs to know why. Curiously, she asks her dad what he actually knows about the beginner trial grounds. He turns serious fast, his voice dropping with absolute gravity. That place is a total death trap. He warns her, not holding anything back. Soloing in the wild is safer, faster, and makes way more sense. Even a rare hidden class would need 10 grueling hours to make it through. But Chen Zai AI he smashed that record into pieces. He conquered that entire deadly dungeon in just 2 short hours. John Menghui wonders if a shadow mage could really pull off a feat like that. Her father scoffs at the thought. He points out that weak shadow mages are basically useless sitting ducks. He wants to know if any other real talent showed up in this batch. The recruiter suddenly leans in, demanding a name with intense curiosity. But she just smiles, smugly keeping the secret to herself as she walks away. Her father yells after her, frustrated, claiming he only wants to track rare classes. She doesn't even blink, totally unbothered by his talk of high-tier competition. With a casual wave, she heads out while her exhausted dad laments his luck. Stepping out of the mansion, she makes a quick call to her spy. She orders them to tell Chen Zai and report his exact location at the restaurant. Our boy arrives at the bustling outer streets of Skywing City, keeping a low profile. He needs to find a place to satisfy his massive hunger fast. That leads him straight to the towering, incredibly luxurious Zhongshan Grand Restaurant. It's famous for a legendary elemental chef who cooks dishes that boost your stats. He takes one look at the prices, daylight robbery, and decides to keep walking. Now watch this, his quiet quest for cheap street food gets interrupted. A group of loud adventurers blocks his path, led by a smug armored warrior. The guy starts throwing shade immediately, mocking our quiet protagonist. Chen Zai just stares back with absolute indifference, completely unfazed. The labmouth keeps on roasting his basic starter gear and pathetic stats, proud as can be. Some cook up high-tier dishes, boosting player attributes. The prices are insane, basically daylight robbery. He decides to find some cheap street food instead. But his quest for a snack gets interrupted. A group of loud adventurers shows up, led by a smug armored warrior. He starts throwing shade at our quiet protagonist. Chen Zai just stares back with absolute indifference. He's completely unfazed by the guy's desperate trash talk. The labmouth keeps going, roasting the starter gear. He is laughing at those supposedly pathetic stats. The labmouth keeps bragging about his rare blue gear, almost hitting level 3 in just 2 hours. Chen Zai just stands there, totally unfazed by all that desperate, noisy posturing. Quietly, Chen Zai tells the armored warrior to just get lost. That simple command, it instantly sets the guy off. He glares back, absolutely furious, and demands that Chen Zai say it again. His burly teammates don't hesitate, stepping forward to back their guy up. They try to use their sheer size to intimidate our quiet lead. Before things can really boil over, Chen Zai notices a crowd forming. Everyone is gathering around to watch this dramatic street confrontation. A blonde bystander stands by, watching the tense standoff. He seems silently curious to see how a rookie like this handles real trouble. Out of nowhere, a powerful woman in red delivers a devastating high kick. She catches the arrogant loudmouth square in the face. He goes flying backward, crashing headfirst onto the hard stone pavement. Furious and humiliated, the armored warrior sits up, dazed. He starts screaming threats at his mysterious attacker. But his anger instantly evaporates into pure, chilling terror. He realizes exactly who just took him down. Recognizing the powerful Zhang Menghui, the trembling bully starts backpedaling. He stammers through a weak excuse about it being a harmless misunderstanding. Zhang Menghui's sudden intervention shuts the whole fight down. The conflict ends before it even really begins. The humiliated bully glares back with pure hatred, warning Chen Zai to watch his back. Our boy just scoffs internally, wishing the exact same misfortune on the arrogant warrior. Turning away, the gorgeous Zhang Menghui casually offers to treat Chen Zai to a meal. He politely thanks her for the timely rescue. She waves it off, no big deal at all. She introduces her high-level escort party and invites him to join their upcoming grind. But here is the thing, how our leveling with massive gaps usually triggers a severe experience penalty. Hoping to help him catch up, she generously offers to hook him up with better gear. Chen Zai politely declines the charity and waves goodbye. He heads off to grab a bite to eat alone. The bustling dungeon lobby stays packed, preparing for another wave of eager adventurers. Everyone is here, hunting for glory and better loot. Stepping away from the crowd, our boy decides to head straight toward the dungeon plaza. He is totally unaware that the masked spy is still tailing him. Like an annoying shadow, the spy watches from a distance. He is wondering why a solo rookie is heading straight for the high-stakes party dungeon zone. Chen Zai calmly reviews his options, noting only 2 low-level dungeons are currently open. Groups of eager players gather around the glowing teleportation circles to find teammates. Without a second thought, our boy casually steps onto a platform. Chen Zai calmly reviews his options, only 2 low-level dungeons left. Eager adventurers are already gathering around the glowing teleportation circles. They are all hunting for teammates, desperate for a group. But our boy just casually steps onto a platform alone. All alone, he breaks every standard rule, and this move is bold. The spy lurking nearby is baffled by his sheer, raw confidence. Chen Zai pulls up the holographic menu for the ancient war dungeon. He taps the screen to pick the level 1 difficulty quickly. He confirms the solo entry without even a single second of hesitation. Then, he just vanishes into a brilliant flash of blue light. The masked spy is left speechless, watching this entire scene unfold. He stares in absolute disbelief, realizing our guy is making a move. Chen Zai is actually going to solo a real party dungeon. His destination is the freezing, snow-covered depths of the Frost Mole Cave. It is inside the Icefield Rift, a level 5 normal difficulty zone. A massive, deadly boss waits for him at the very end. Chen Zai steps through the glowing portal and arrives safely. He faces this dangerous place with absolute, unshakable confidence. A massive horde of 150 frost moles and elite leaders waits, though he quickly regrets not bringing a warmer coat along. The freezing wind is already chilling him straight to the bone. Still, with unlimited summon capacity, he knows this is the play. Soloing this is the fastest way to get rich, so he marches on. He heads into the snowy abyss, ready to turn these monsters into loot. He grips his staff tightly as dark energy crackles around his fingertips. Here is where things get real. Watch the power ripple out. He unleashes a massive wave of shadow magic to call his army. Whirling blue energy manifests right above his loyal skeletal soldiers. They are fully prepared for the upcoming onslaught waiting in the snow. Standing at the rear, Chen Zai commands his massive army forward. The armored undead march toward the battle with zero fear. They charge across the snowy plains, their blades drawn and ready. Suddenly, a swarm of level 5 frost moles bursts from the ground. Their red eyes glow, locked onto their targets with pure hunger. Because these skeletons lack flesh, the monsters focus entirely on them. Perfect aggro, exactly how he planned it from the start. Blades clash against claws as the front line tears through the rodents. They slice the beasts in half, clearing a path through the snow. The summons rack up kills and easy experience points by the second. Our boy notes that this dungeon is a gold mine for loot. The experience gain is much higher than anything he has seen. Though honestly, standing around waiting for drops is a bit boring. With the trash mobs cleared, he leads his army toward the elites. Suddenly, a massive block of ice shatters right in front of them. The elite monster of this zone reveals itself to the group. It is a giant frost mole, and it has one glaring weakness. It is incredibly vulnerable to area of effect magic attacks. Chen Zai locks his eyes onto the target with cold, calculated precision. He raises his staff, ready to end this fight right now. He gestures, ordering his undead legion to surround the beast, trapping the confused monster in a tight, inescapable circle. Bone and steel closing in. He's ready to finish this. He triggers his signature corpse explosion, turning his summons into living grenades. A violent crimson blast rips through the air, tearing right through the elite beast, painting the snow deep red. Just like that, he racks up 300 experience points. Barely broke a sweat, he walks toward the smoking remains. He spots a rare blue drop, waiting just for him. A level 5 rare robe, massive boost to his intelligence. And he gets more skeletal slots. Chen Zai AI taps the screen. Equipping the new gear, the system hums to life instantly. His equipment upgrades, and he's looking sharper than ever. Now watch this. His summon limit just went through the roof. A sleek new look, and he's ready for the next round. Suddenly, a wave of armored frost mold screeches in fury. But our guy, he just stares them down, totally unfazed. Cold, calm, and ready, he watches the beasts leap ahead. Right into the trap he set, they never stood a chance. With a flick of his staff, his skeleton army swarms them. A relentless tide of undead soldiers floods the snowy path, slicing through the ranks, turning the rodents into dust. Totally overwhelmed by his sheer numbers, they can't move. Path cleared, he marches calmly toward the final boss area. He finally reaches the inner chamber, stepping into the dark, coming face to face with the massive, armored Frost Mole King. It's huge, but he doesn't even blink. Pure confidence. He raises his staff, channeling waves of dark, forbidden energy, ordering his loyal skeletons to pin the giant down. No hesitation. They swarm the beast with zero fear, sprinting headlong into danger, locking onto the boss's armor. It's trapped, nowhere to run from the coming nightmare. Every skeleton latches on, pinning the giant to the ground. Their bony chests begin to pulse with a volatile red light. The trap is set, and there's no way out for the king. A catastrophic chain reaction of explosions rips through the room, engulfing the screaming monster in a wall of fire. He doesn't stop there. Another wave of summons detonates, making sure the job is absolutely, thoroughly finished. The once mighty boss falls crashing face first into the ice. The Frost Mole King is down, experience points rolling in. A massive 1,000 experience points, just like that. He doesn't waste a second, tapping the glowing screen, ready to claim his loot, and seriously, his luck. It's actually insane. Let's see what he pulled. Insane luck, dropping a rare purple weapon on his very first run. This Frost Marrow Bone Staff practically hums with icy magical energy. Perfect for boosting his summons. He can't help but smile at it. The stat boosts are huge. They'll make his corpse explosions way more devastating. Fully geared up in his sleek new equipment, our boy looks like a powerhouse. Satisfied with the massive haul, he taps the exit button to head home. Meanwhile, the masked spy is still waiting outside, yawning in the quiet plaza. Suddenly, the teleportation circle flashes bright blue. Chen Zai AI casually steps back into the light. The stalker is convinced the weak rookie must have quit halfway through. But then his jaw drops in total shock as he keeps staring. Chen Zai AI is fully decked out in legendary gear. He actually cleared that party dungeon solo and grabbed the ultimate rare drops. Hurriedly contacting his boss, the trembling spy struggles to find his words. He reports that the rookie just finished a record-breaking 23-minute run. And get this, he's wearing rare boss drops top-tier parties only dream of. Deep inside another zone, Zhang Minghui freezes in pure disbelief. She can't wrap her head around a Shadow Mage clearing it solo in record time, especially since her own elite squad barely got her to level 2. She's left wondering how this supposedly weak class is shattering every rule. System standards say a Shadow Mage only gets 2 basic skills and a tiny summon limit. Zhang Minhui is completely dumbfounded by how Chen Zai AI just broke every standard. Now pay attention, here is where the madness really kicks into high gear. The masked spy watches the teleportation circle lighting up with constant activity. He's scratching his head in sheer disbelief that anyone could find solo grinding this addictive. But inside the frozen rift, Chen Zai AI is actually having a relaxing time. The afternoon sun dips below the horizon, painting the plaza in gold. Stepping out of the portal, our boy finished his final run in 16 minutes. The exhausted stalker assumes the overpowered rookie is finally done for the day. He quickly tells his boss he can finally take a well-deserved break. Meanwhile, Chen Zai AI casually checks his screen. The summon limit hit, leaving Zhang Minhui completely stunned. He just watched a kid shatter every known standard. Nearby, the masked spy tracks the teleportation circles glowing bright. They're constantly active. Non-stop, he's scratching his head in disbelief. He can't wrap his mind around someone finding solo grinding this addictive. But inside the frozen rift, things are different. Chen Zai is actually having a pretty relaxing time. The afternoon sun slowly dips below the horizon. Golden light paints the whole plaza, a perfect end to the day. Stepping out of the portal, our guy finished his final run. A record-breaking 16 minutes, to be exact. The exhausted stalker assumes the overpowered rookie is finally done. He quickly reports to his boss, time for a well-deserved break. Meanwhile, Chen Zai just casually checks his loot. Chen Zai heads home for dinner with his stats feeling fully boosted. Back at his place, he scrolls through a massive mountain of loot. He starts dumping useless high-tier gear, but his eyes stop cold. Tucked in his inventory, a mysterious, glowing, ancient scroll. It is easily the single most valuable treasure from his entire run. This rare Rift Conqueror scroll can unlock a high-yield dungeon. The catch, it strictly requires a party to enter. So there he is, standing in the plaza, trying to figure out a partner. Who can he rope into this super lucrative venture? Then, right on cue, the gorgeous Zhang Minghui pops up behind him. Perfect comedic timing, honestly. She mentions hearing wild rumors about his insane solo exploits. She completely ignores her family's lurking spy to talk to him. Chen Zai casually offers her a spot, but he drives a hard bargain. A shameless 70-30 loot split, the wealthy heiress is stunned. She's absolutely flabbergasted when she recognizes that scroll. He just smugly shrugs it off like it was pure luck. He gives her a cold take it or leave it ultimatum. Zhang Minghui jumps at the offer, clearly thrilled by the chance. She joins his party and sprints away before he can even blink, running off into the sunset, shouting a hasty goodbye to him. Chen Zai stays there, holding the scroll, wondering about her rush. Maybe she is just that eager to get to work. The next morning brings mandatory reports for all new students. The highly anticipated novice leaderboard officially opens up today. It is supposed to spark some fierce competition out there. But our boy just strolls through the gates like he barely even tried. Not a care in the world. Suddenly, a sleek luxury car rolls up to the academy entrance. Heads turn everywhere as Zhang Minghui's wealthy father steps out. He asks about her progress toward hitting level 5. She confidently boasts about grinding non-stop for that goal. She has 80% the bar filled, and he looks totally sold. He is fully convinced she is taking the top spot today. Zhang Minghui knows she cannot catch Chen Zai. He is level 8. Stepping out of the car, she tells her father she is grinding with a friend. He mentions he is recruiting for the Destiny Covenant Guild. He wants to see the leaderboard right now. She walks away, staying silent, knowing her dad is in for a shock. A massive disappointment is coming his way very soon. Inside the hall, students gossip about their levels and the ranking. A smug armored knight and a blonde girl sit there, expecting to win. They are way too confident that they will dominate this. That arrogant warrior narrows his eyes as he spots our boy. Chen Zai walks past their row, and the knight loudly demands a challenge. All the guy wanted was a gauge on Chen Zai, but he got nothing but total silence. Annoyed by that cold shoulder, the knight starts puffing out his chest. He gloats that both he and Lucy hit level 4, but Chen Zai here. Our guy just takes a seat, totally unfazed by these weaklings. Flexing their tiny little wins, the arrogant knight demands to know something. Did Chen Zai even manage to crawl his way to level 2? Chen Zai stays calm, just tells him to wait for the leaderboard. That triggers a smug laugh, as the knight points at the obvious. The leaderboard only shows the top 30. A shadow mage has 0 shot, but all that trash talk just lands flat. Chen Zai simply turns his back, completely tuning the guy out. Suddenly, the academy principal takes the stage, flanked by Zhang Jiangshang. That's the Grand Deacon of the Destiny Covenant, and the crowd goes wild. Waves of excited whispers ripple through the entire academy. Students recognize the elite status instantly, but another peer pulls the knight back. He quietly warns the bully to shut his mouth and save the mockery. The knight is forced to sit back down, though he's still seething. He parks himself right next to Chen Zai, muttering one last pathetic insult. On stage, the principal raises a hand to silence the buzzing crowd. He welcomes all these eager novices to this momentous first day. After their class awakenings, the tension in the air is thick. He finally drops the news that the novice leaderboard is opening. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for. The principal with the glasses says he won't keep them waiting any longer. He is about to reveal the full rankings right now. A massive holographic screen flashes to life, bathing everyone in blue light. The results are finally here for the whole academy to see. The knight spots his name and starts boasting about his 22nd spot. He turns to Chen Zai, ready to declare that this shadow mage is nothing. Just a weakling who will never stand on his level. But then, the entire crowd lets out a massive gasp. The second place spot shows Zhangmeng Hu Wei. Her powerful father is left completely stunned, staring at the screen. The wealthy heiress herself just looks on, calm and composed. She already knew exactly who took that top crown. This shocking reveal sends the arrogant knight into a total panic. He cannot wrap his head around someone beating her. Even her father realizes she knew all along she wasn't first today. Still totally clueless, the bully laughs and mocks our guy. He claims Chen Zai didn't even scrape the top 30. But just then, the principal steps up to address the mystery. Everyone is staring at the top slot. It's still hidden. He adjusts his glasses, explaining he kept it back for the drama. Watch this, he snaps his fingers, ready to change everything. The legendary champion of the novice rankings is finally coming to light. Chen's smug face flashes on the giant screen, undisputed winner. The entire auditorium freezes, total silence. Minds are shattered by the news. It makes no sense. Confused whispers erupt. How did a weak shadow mage take the crown? They can't process it. The whole room is buzzing with shock. That arrogant knight completely loses it, sweating bullets. He's screaming that there has to be a mistake. His blonde partner glances at Chen, clearly regretting her choice of teammates. Chaos erupts in the hall as everyone tries to process this. This is a rule-breaking achievement. The trembling bully stares directly at Chen. A soul-crushing moment of denial. Other students point out that nobody in academy history has done this. It is a ridiculous, impossible feat. The holographic screen shows Chen sitting comfortably at the top. The principal marvels at how a shadow mage broke every record. Most elite leveling squads barely push someone to level 6. But here is Chen, already blowing past the limit. The blonde girl realizes she missed a free ride. Major regret is setting in. Chen casually tells the arrogant knight to try harder next time. The bully falls into an ego-crushing spiral of rage. Pure denial. The principal smiles, satisfied to see such a monster emerge. But look at the stage. Zhangmeng Huai's powerful father narrows his eyes. He is suspicious, realizing his daughter must have known about this rookie. This is where it gets tense. Notice the look on his face. The principal clears his throat to announce the next phase. He starts explaining safety protocols for dungeon runs. The newly awakened students listen, eager to learn about survival. But Zhangmeng Huai looks bored. She already knows the truth. Our guy has broken every rule in the book. The principal finishes his speech and tells them to find their instructors. He dismisses the assembly so everyone can start daily training. Outside, the crowd cannot stop whispering about the monster. Reaching level 8 on day 1, it is unheard of. The blonde girl from earlier desperately runs after Chen Zai. She reaches out to stop him, her face full of apology. She is nervously sorry for rejecting him yesterday. But our boy just looks at her, confused. He casually asks what she is even talking about. She frantically chases after Chen Zai AI, desperate to get his attention. She reaches out, finally managing to stop him in his tracks. With a look of pure regret, she nervously apologizes for rejecting him yesterday. But our guy just shrugs. He has no clue what she's even talking about. Lucy stands there completely stunned, caught off guard by his cold indifference. He just walks away without a second thought. Lucy desperately tries to salvage her chances, asking Chen Zai AI if they can party up to level together. But our boy instantly shuts her down, stating he's already got a teammate lined up. That leaves the panicked blonde begging him to forget yesterday's rejection as pure nonsense. Yet Chen Zai's icy glare reminds her of her own harsh words. She's still going on about them living in different worlds. She desperately pleads with him, wondering how he could just throw away their past. Right then, the gorgeous Zhang Meng who steps up, asking if he's planning a last-minute swap. That leaves the snobbish ex-teammate completely paralyzed with shock. She recognizes the wealthy heiress in an instant. With a smug smile, Zhang Meng signals that it's time to go, leaving the gold digger in the dust. You can only watch in absolute silence as the school's top goddess walks away with her reject. Meanwhile, inside a luxurious mansion, an elite guild leader gets a shocking report. It's all about the rookie's progress. Sipping his tea, Zheng Luo mutters in total disbelief about Chen Zai AI reaching level 8 on day 1. His arrogant son confirms the ranking, admitting the official system board doesn't lie. That prompts the bitter guild member to complain about being constantly looked down upon by his superiors, especially now that the guild leader's daughter is getting suspiciously close to this new prodigy. His son asks if the wealthy heiress is just trying to recruit the overpowered rookie, but Zheng Luo scoffs, claiming a mere shadow mage must be carrying hidden gear. That leaves the armored bully completely baffled. Since our boy grew up in the literal slums, he insists it's mathematically impossible to hit level 8 in a single day without cheating. Zheng Luo agrees, saying even the best leveling party couldn't pull off such a feat. He concludes Chen Zai AI must have a secret item boosting his experience gains. The armored bully points out that high-tier boosters usually have massive level requirements. But get this, a low-level booster would let any faction mass-produce elite recruits. That would completely ruin their guild if a rival got their hands on it first. Zheng Luo coldly orders his son to assassinate our boy and steal the artifact. The eager bully vows to wash away his public humiliation with blood. Meanwhile, Chen Zai AI and Zhang Meng arrive at the foggy outskirts. Elite recruits like these would be a total disaster for their guild if rivals snatched them up. So Zheng Luo coldly commands his son to hunt our guy down. Kill him, he orders, and steal that legendary artifact for ourselves. That bully practically glows, vowing to wash away his public humiliation with blood. Meanwhile, Chen Zai AI and Zhang Meng reach the edge of the foggy wasteland. They're at a massive disadvantage here. They step past an abandoned ancient village and straight into the danger zone. These are the hunting grounds for Miscade marauders, monsters you do not mess with. John Menghui is shaking, asking if he's really sure about going deeper. He knows these aggressive beasts will swarm them the second they move. But our boy just keeps calm, eyes locked on his tracking device. He's confident they are only steps away from where they need to be. Suddenly, a massive boot slams down right in their path, blocking the way. Chen Zai AI narrows his eyes, instantly sensing these aren't just random travelers. 3 armed mercenaries emerge from the thick mist. They're looking smug, bragging about how easy it was to corner their target. One points out that most rookies play it safe near the city walls. The hooded leader grins behind his blade, clearly thrilled at such a simple job. Now watch this, our boy doesn't even flinch at the threat. He calmly asks who sent them to do this dirty work. The assassin reveals the powerful Zheng family wants a specific piece of his gear. A massive bounty was placed on his head just for that legendary item. These desperate mercenaries are ready to cash in and end his career right now. Chen Zai quickly connects the dots to Zheng Wei. Is that bully truly this pathetic? He knows his low-level purple gear isn't worth a hit from a top-tier guild. The rest of his equipment is just basic blue trash that no one would want. But instead of overthinking their motives, our boy stops playing nice. If these thugs want a bounty, he's ready to bury them right here. At the Foggy Gorge entrance, the three mercenaries start to circle them. Chen Zai realizes the open terrain puts him and his partner at a huge disadvantage. Suddenly, the hooded assassin lunges forward with blinding speed. He slips right past our boy and corners Zhang Menghui. He warns her not to touch her communicator, blade pressing against her neck. He's making sure she doesn't call her powerful father for backup. Yet, the calm era kid simply asks if they really dare touch a Grand Deacon's daughter. That smug mercenary grins in the fog, totally unbothered by her family status. Brandishing twin daggers, the leader boasts that no one will ever find their bodies. But Chen Zai suddenly raises his hand. Out of nowhere, the hooded assassin lunges forward with blinding speed. He's moving to end this fight instantly. Slipping right past our guy, the killer corners Zhang Menghui. He warns her, "Don't you dare touch that communicator." A sharp blade presses against her throat, making sure she can't call her powerful father. Yet, even now, our guy just asks if they really dare to touch a Grand Deacon's daughter. That smug mercenary grins through the thick fog. He's completely unbothered by her high-status family connections. Brandishing twin daggers, the hooded leader boasts that nobody will ever find their bodies in this wilderness. He thinks he's already won. But get this, just as he's talking, Chen Zai suddenly raises his hand. The game is about to change. He moves his hand to hide his tech. Digitization really makes wiping evidence way too easy. The assassin assumes our boy is begging for mercy, bragging that his rep isn't for sale. Chen Zai just keeps cool. He offers to lead them to a gorge to steal his rare key. That bait works perfectly. You can see the greed lighting up that leader's eyes. His beefy partner laughs, basically mocking the kid for picking out his own burial spot. The hooded thug points his blade, barking orders for the group to march toward their end. Chen Zai chuckles as he walks ahead, planning to trap these killers in the canyon walls. His gorgeous partner watches from behind, completely baffled by what looks like a suicide run. Thick white fog starts to swallow them up as they head deeper into the wilderness. They're moving in a single file line now, the mercenaries watching their captives like hawks. Suddenly, a level 13 mist-scaled moth bursts from the mist with glowing red wings. The blue-haired assassin reacts in a blink, swinging his massive blade with terrifying precision. He slices the pest clean in half before it can even register they're there. The dead monster slams into the grass right at our boy's feet. Playing dumb, Chen Zai heaps on praise to bait them into bragging about their levels. He finds out they're level 18. He just smirks, knowing that gap is totally manageable. Meanwhile, his partner is panicking in silence, wondering how he stays so incredibly calm. They finally step into the heart of the white mist gorge to settle this. A dark silhouette rustles in the fog, and then a terrifying howl tears through the air. A level 15 mist flame tail fox leaps from the cliffs, charging right at the leader. The assassin slides under the beast to dodge its claws, dirt flying as it lands heavy. Before the fox can recover, the beefy mercenary drops from above with dual axes raised. The leader plunges his daggers into the creature's flaming back, followed by a brutal kick. That heavy warrior hits the fox with a final, bloody axe strike to finish it off. Chen Zai plays it cool, acting dim while praising their raw strength. It's just a bait move. He wants them to spill their real levels. Level 18. He smirks to himself. That gap, completely manageable. Meanwhile, his gorgeous partner is panicking. She's totally baffled. How is he staying this calm? They finally step into the heart of the white mist gorge. A mysterious silhouette rustles through the thick fog, grabbing their focus. Then a terrifying howl tears through the air. A beast leaps down from the cliffs to attack. It's a level 15 mist flame tail fox, charging hard. It goes straight for the hooded assassin, fangs bared and ready. Reacting instantly, the agile killer slides under the fiery beast. That lethal dodge leaves the fox's massive paws tearing up dirt. It lands heavy on the grass, a brutal impact. Before the monster can recover, the beefy mercenary lunges from above. With dual axes raised, he's ready to finish this. The hooded leader plunges his sharp daggers deep into the fox's back. Then a brutal kick from the heavy warrior sends it crashing down. Everything happens so fast, you can barely track the motion. One final bloody axe strike seals the deal. The wild beast goes down for good. Watching them struggle, Chen Zai knows it is time to end their misery. These level 18 thugs, they can barely scratch a monster anymore. Losing patience, the hooded assassin demands to know where the dungeon is hidden. Chen Zai points toward a narrow, winding path. Internally, he is celebrating. He knew exactly how to play them. This dead end is the perfect spot for an ambush. And the greedy. Leader swallows the bait whole, thrilled at the thought of a legendary key. They are marching right into a double kill, eager for the loot. As they step into the thick fog, the arrogant mercenaries have no clue. They are walking straight into a trap, and our boy watches with a smug grin. It is almost funny how quickly his victims are rushing toward their own doom. He raises his glowing staff, unleashing a sudden surge of dark energy. The counterattack begins as he summons a pair of armored skeleton soldiers. They rise from the shadows, instantly blocking the only path for escape. Sensing a shift in the air, the hooded assassin spins around in total confusion. He finds a towering undead warrior staring him down, completely cutting off the exit. Even the partner watches in disbelief, eyes wide at what is unfolding. She can hardly process why a simple shadow mage is summoning skeletons. But wait, here is where the arrogance finally bites them back. The mercenaries burst out laughing, completely unimpressed by the two fragile-looking summons. They mock his desperate attempt to resist, jeering at the tiny skeletons. The thugs actually think this is pathetic, never seeing the real danger. They keep right on laughing, clueless that their end is already here. Unfazed by their taunts, our boy flashes a dark, dangerous smirk. No more games, he thinks. He is skipping the warm-up. It is time to end them right here and right now.